At the end of the day, people just be projecting. So stop taking everything that they say to heart, and stop taking everything that they say so serious, and stop hearing what they're saying about you and cry and want to change yourself and be a completely different person. I'm not saying you have no flaws. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with you, but to a certain degree, it's nothing wrong with you, fam. You are enough. You are more than enough. You are beautiful. You are handsome. You are bright. You have so much to bring to the table. Do not allow anybody words to affect you to the point where you lose your sense of worth and your sense of value. And I don't care if this is your parents. I don't care if this is your siblings, a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Like, don't allow them to have that power. Do not allow them to have that power. They just project. They really just project a lot, you know. And I want to give a quick example real quick. So I used to talk to a narcissist, right? And I talked to this man for months on months in. And it felt like there was a point where I didn't know who I was. Like, before I talked to him, I knew, but probably only like 75%. But while I was talking to him, it felt like it went to like 20%. Like, I don't know who I am, because my whole life of having friendships, my whole life of having relationships and dealing with people, I've known to have a certain level of respect from them and a certain type of view from them that we both shared. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm trying to say is, say a person I talked to before the narcissist, we can all agree I'm not perfect, right? Never claim to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect, but we can also agree that I'm not a bad person. And we could also agree that I'm sweet and I'm nice. We could also agree that I need to communicate more. We could also agree that I get quiet when my feelings are hurt. We can also agree that I'm not spiteful. I'm not revengeful. We can also agree that I'm confident. We can also agree that I have my own personality and I have my own life. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, with this person, he would say something so off the wall. And it's like, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? And I would take it so hard, because it's like, damn. Now, is this how people always felt about me? Or is this just how he feel about me? This how he view me? What am I doing to give off this? Like, I would question myself so much, because it's like, that's not me. Or am I lying to myself and saying it's not me? Do I not know who I am? I started to question my whole existence. I started to question every relationship I had before them. Even when it came to the friends that I still have in my life, to my relationships with my siblings. Like, how do you guys view me? I stopped caring about how I view myself, and I only valued how other people viewed me, because the way that he would speak about me, to me, it sounded so far from the truth. So I was just so confused the whole entire duration of us being together. I was so confused. He would always tell me that I'm insecure. He would always tell me that I'm crazy. He would always tell me that I'm delusional. He would always tell me I'm too emotional. He would always tell me I'm too sensitive. When I have a friend who loves me and tells me that I make her feel so home because I understand her emotions, and I allow her to feel safe and comfortable, to where I'm able to relate how she feel emotionally, but have enough logic to not move from my emotion. So when he said I'm too emotional, I couldn't understand it. When he would say I'm too sensitive, I didn't get it, because it's like, no, I'm just reacting to what you're doing. I'm reacting to what you're saying. I don't get it. And it was a lot of things, like I said, like if you watch my other video, he would call me insecure a lot. And that would bother me so much, because it's like, when I'm not around you, I'm literally dancing in the mirror naked. When I'm not around you, I'm taking so many pictures of myself. When I'm not around you, I affirm myself. When I'm not around you, I feel beautiful. inside, outside, mentally, physically, spiritually. So it's like you calling me insecure. I couldn't fathom it, because it's like, that's not true. That's not me. Like I'm you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always room for improvement. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I felt insecure in this moment because you were talking to other women and you're an untrustworthy person, so I didn't feel safe with your actions. Maybe I grew insecure in that moment. I can own that. But me being an insecure person overall, I don't believe that. And he would just say so much shit that I'm like, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And it would confuse me, and I was just left in a daze to a point where I couldn't understand my own thoughts and my own feelings for like a very long time. The whole time that we were talking to each other, every day, I would wake up confused. I would go to sleep confused. I would pray confused. I would feel confused. I'll talk to him confused. I'll be by myself. I feel confused. I smoke by myself. I feel confused. I smoke with other people. I feel confused, because it's like, at this point, I don't know who I am. Then I watched a video, a sermon, how people project all the time. They project all the time. And if you're not careful with who you surround yourself with, and if you're not careful with how you view yourself, you will believe them. And I believed him for a second. And that's what had me so confused. But once I watched the whole sermon and I watched it through, and I'm reading the comments, and they talking about narcissists, and narcissists project, and they project because they're trying to throw you off, because that's who they are, and how to not take offense of it, because it's just what they need to hear. He was insecure. He was weird. He was delusional. He was crazy. Everything he tried to convince me that I was, he is. You get what I'm saying? People project all day long, and if you're not careful with what you consume, you will believe that shit. And that's scary. Because if you ever felt how I felt, the dissociation that I would deal with on a daily, the confusion that I would deal with on a daily is so unreal, and I don't wish that on anybody. Like, I was an emotional wreck. I was crying so much because I could not understand how anybody could view me this way. But in reality, he don't view me that way. That's how he know he is. That's the person that he know that he is. And he knew it was going to throw me off, because I'm not that. So now whatever we was arguing about, it's not a topic of discussion no more. Now I'm fucked up because you then said 5 things about me that's not true. Now we off the fact that you did this. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow nobody to project and place their fears on you, place their opinions of themselves on you, place what they need to hear and tell themselves on you. They will do it if you let them, if you believe it. Babe, don't give them that power. When people start saying certain shit about you that you know is not true, let it roll off. Don't even argue. Don't even fight it. When you know yourself, you don't even got to do all that. The strongest person in the room is always the one that's the most quiet. He would do all that barking. Genuinely confused on who he is as a person, and placing that confusion on me. Don't allow nobody to just bark at you and you bark back. Let him bark. Let him bark. Let him talk out his ass. Let him lie. Let him attempt to get under your skin. Let them do whatever they're going to do. Let them say whatever they're going to do. Just don't believe it. Don't consume it, because it's not true. People are going to project all day long. People are going to lie. People are going to try to throw you off. People are going to do any and everything that they can do to convince you that you're not who you are and that you're just like them. And if you allow yourself to believe it, you'll believe it, and it will take over, and you'll be confused, and either you will literally be just like them, or you will be so fogged out and so disassociated from who you truly are, you will literally need therapy. Literally. And I'm not against therapy, so if you at that point, go get it, go seek it. When I was at that point, I wanted to seek therapy really bad, but I didn't have the funds personally. But I seek therapy through meditation, through affirmation and praying every day, all fucking day. Talking to myself all day, every day. So do whatever helps, but what you don't need to do is believe them and listen, because it's not true. People gonna project all day long, but it's up to you to believe it. You know who you are, don't believe that shit. You know what you're capable of, don't believe that shit. You know what you do, don't believe that shit. If you know you're a good person, you know you're a sweet person, don't let nobody convince you just a bad person. Don't let nobody convince you just this trifling person. You know what trifling mean. You know what bad people do. Bad people don't care if they're bad people. And I'm gonna leave that right there with you. Bad people don't care if they're bad people. So don't let nobody tell you who you are. Don't let nobody project and put anything on you and put their insecurities on you and their fears on you. Observe, never consume. If I would allow him, his words, to get to me to the point of I lost the voice inside of me that was fighting for who I was, I wouldn't be in front of you right now. Because while he was saying all of those things to me, I stopped doing YouTube videos for a minute. I stopped doing talking videos. I would just do vlogs. I would do anything where I had the least amount of talking in it. Because I felt like what he said was true. I felt like I didn't have no knowledge about what I was speaking on. I didn't feel smart enough. I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel pretty enough to get in front of the camera. I felt I was too insecure to tell you to make a video about how to be confident. But it's like I'm away from him and I'm away from that energy, and I can literally make 3 videos a day. Because I know who I am. I'm a sensible person. I'm not a perfect person, but I have a lot of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot to offer. I'm more than enough. I can speak on so much shit. Don't allow them to place their insecurities on you and project on you. I beg of you, please do not. Remember who you are. Know who you are. Observe, never consume.